after the fight, didn't bring it up. I just wanted to let you get your time, give you your respect. But I am gonna ask you, David Benavidez was ringside for your fight.
He was watching me, huh? He was?
He was. So I spoke to him before your fight.
Yeah.
His words to me were that you are a pussy and that your interviews are more entertaining than your fights. That was before the fight, right?
Yeah.
I feel like after the fight, he would have had a totally different opinion or just words to speak on. Can we see that fight this year? I know you want it. I know that you want it. That's no question. You wanted it before you were champion. You want it now that you're champion. That's not the question.
Well, I want to fight a mandatory or a world champ. Is he either one of those?
He is not. No sir.
Oh, okay. I was just making sure. And he was at my fight watching me, right?
He was at your fight watching you.
And who was I fighting? The boogeyman?
As they said before you fought him.
Okay, before I fought him. All right, I'm just making sure. So he's not a world champion, and he's not a mandatory. So, if he can keep his nose clean, right, then maybe we can figure something out. But until then, it's easy to talk from the sidelines. But who came back after a year layoff with a broken hand, no tuna fight, and said put me in the trenches? Who fought Ronald Graville for a world title? Who fought Ronald Graville for a world title? And who fought the boogeyman of the division for a world title?
I gotta ask, since you brought up fighting Ronald Graville, I was ringside for both fights. Did you happen to watch both fights?
I was there the first one. I fought that night.
You did fight.
I didn't see the second one.
Okay, what were your thoughts on the first one? Because me personally, I honestly thought that he lost the first one. The second one,
and I know it's gonna sound, I'm gonna sound like a super hater, right? For saying this, like I'm just saying it because we don't get along or some shit like that. But I really thought that David lost the first fight. I feel like Ronald was dictating a lot of the pace. He was throwing punches.
His output. Especially with the knockdown in the 12th.
And he was being the ring general. Yeah, I feel like he was being more the ring general. Because you can be busy and still not be winning.
Right.
But he was being the ring general. So that's what I feel. Of course, I know a lot of people in this video are going to think I'm just being a hater. But who fought Ronald Graville to win a world title? Who fought the boogeyman to win a world title? Who got dropped by Ronald Graville? And who didn't get dropped once or shook once by the boogeyman? Matter of fact, who dropped the boogeyman twice? So come on.
Is part of you feeling that way too? Because when you asked for the shot at the title, he wasn't really giving you the time of day. So now the shoe's on the other foot, and you're paying him back. Is that part of it?
It's not even paying him back. I'm in my lane running my own race. As Jordan Hardy always tells me, keep your blinders on.
JP.
When at the horse races they got blinders on, right? It's because they're not worried about the other horses. They're supposed to be running their race. Running my race.
I like to say people sometimes tend to want to eat too much.
Yeah.
Or want to see what other people eating, and they look down on their plate.
Yeah, you look worried about another man's food, and you look at your plate, and then all yours is gone.
Exactly.
So of course he wants to fight me. And he wasn't hopping on it too much before, but of course he wants to fight me now. He's salty.
So you brought up David fighting Ron Graville for a title.
He's a bomb.
So gotta ask, we just saw you say bye to Larry Wade, your strength conditioning coach. Larry Wade is working with Batu Jack this weekend. Lou Davia works with Batu Jack, also works with Ron. Yesterday at the workouts, they were talking, friendly talking shit, but saying how you used to call Ron out back then before you were champion, and that they want that fight.
Ron wants to fight me now.
Right. He said, Lou Davia said that basically you used to call him out, and now that you're champion, it's only right that you give him the fight. Is any of that true, and is that a fight that you would even entertain?
So when I wanted to fight, he didn't need to give me a chance. But now I'm supposed to, right? Is what he said, right?
More or less, yeah.
Oh, okay. And how much sense does that make? So we don't need to talk about how much money I made this weekend, and there will be tweets coming out. You can believe them if you want, but unless
150.
Okay, yeah.
Probably low. Probably a little low.
Yeah, if you want to believe that if you want,
okay.
Like I said. So unless he's bringing as much more money than what I made this past Sunday, if he can bring that to the table, then we can absolutely make that fight happen.
So that wasn't the amount. That was the amount that was released at least.
Okay.
I guess that wasn't really the case. Yeah.
But, so I don't know.
Yeah.
The point is, If he can bring more money to the table than what I made this past Sunday, then we can absolutely make that. But I'm not going backwards for no reason, right? He didn't want. He wasn't going to be a world title fight for me. That was just a tune-up fight for me. I fought. Then I wanted to fight Porky, but it would have been a nice tune-up fight to fight Ronald Graville, then Porky Medina. You get what I'm saying? And then go on to bigger and better things. But he said, I don't want to turn back. You're behind me, which we all knew that was bullshit, but whatever. But now all of a sudden he want to fight me. I'm not going backwards for no reason. I whoop your ass for more money, or I whoop your ass if you got a belt. If ain't either one of them happening, then